Greetings, good evening, or good night, depending on which time zone you're on. This is Master Nigel here, and tonight I am bringing you a brief video about emotional mastery, and it's a build on the previous video that I did about the 4 rounds. Let me just turn off email here. Yes, it's a build on the 4 rounds, and I hope to be a bit briefer tonight than my usual 30 minutes. So let me just get straight into it. So the last time I spoke, I talked about the 4 rounds. I gave a framework called the 4 rounds framework. And basically, it's the 4 rounds that constitute the human temple. And I start off with the human mind, the mental realm, which contains the mind. And basically, I said the next thing that I become aware of is my feelings. And in the mental realm is where awareness occurs and where I become aware of my internal world or my external world. And so the first experiences that I become aware of is my feelings. And then the next thing that I think I become aware of is my senses: sight, smell, touch, taste. There's another one, smell. And those things, both feelings and sensations, create my current level of awareness of my reality. Then as my awareness increases, I become aware that there's an emotional realm, and that emotional realm is the source of my feelings. And as I pay more attention, I become aware that my physical realm is the source of my sensations. In other words, my eyes, my ears, whatever senses I have, they're connected to my body, which is part of my physical realm. And then as I pay even more attention, I notice that my physical realm is connected to my emotional realm through my motion, action, or my voice. So now as I'm paying more attention and becoming more aware of the realms that constitute my temple, I find out that my mental realm is where the awareness is actually occurring. Providing my mind is clear and free of virus, I can increase my awareness, and I notice that I'm having feelings from my emotional realm, and I'm getting sensations from my physical realm, and I'm also noticing that the emotions that I'm feeling are directly correlated to the actions or the movement of my body and the sound of my voice. But as I pay more attention and increase my awareness, I start noticing that my motion, the movement of my physical realm, my body, my physical realm, is actually got something to do with intentions that I have in my mind. Now, I'm just going to pause here and invite anyone that's watching to just comment. Does this resonate with anything that you're experiencing in your real life? Do you notice that your awareness is occurring in your mind? Are you noticing that your sensations are occurring in the physical realm? And are you noticing that there's a whole realm of emotions that generate feelings? Anyway, in the previous video, I also talked about a 4th realm, which I access through my intuition. And this intuition is some kind of connection to the spiritual realm. And a lot of people refer to the spiritual realm as their heart, or you've heard the term being heart-centered. Well, what that means to me is that wherever the spiritual realm is, whatever my spirit is, it lives in my heart, or my heart is the access to the spiritual realm, and I can communicate or become aware of it through my intuition. And this intuitive faculty brings spiritual concepts into my mental realm, which they then convert into ideas and intentions, and I then do something within the physical realm, I get feedback through the senses, and simultaneously or thereafter, I also, my movement or my voice or my actions, otherwise known as performance, creates emotions, and I sense them. And so I have this loop where the mind or the mental realm generates something, it creates a movement in the physical realm, the movement or the sound in the physical realm creates an emotion, and then we have this loop. Now this loop will continue until it's interfered with by an interrupt from the spiritual realm, a broadcast from the spirit. And that may change what my mind is considering doing, and then it may change my behavior or my development, etc. So that's a recap of the 4 realms. What I wanted to do today was focus on one of those realms, which is the emotional realm, since it's usually the realm that affects people the most and is what makes us humans and different from robots or mainly from machines. Is that we actually have an emotional realm and we have these feelings. And so I'm going to drill into that and talk about what I call my emotional dashboard. And what does that mean? What I found out is the emotional realm is actually the dashboard of my temple, meaning of the 4 realms, this emotion is like having a dashboard, and it's telling me, the emotions are telling me what is happening on the inside of the temple. What's going on the spiritual side, the emotional side, what's happening on the inside. It's like the equivalent of having a dashboard on your car, and when you turn the ignition, the dashboard lights up, and each light on the dashboard of your car represents an emotion of the car. And the car is communicating through the dashboard how it's feeling. Oh, if you see the oil light, oh, I feel smooth today. And it will start, the oil light will be green, and you'll see the alternator light, which is the electrical supply. That will be green. Everybody's happy and green, meaning all systems are go. We're cool. We are okay to drive. And if there's something seriously wrong, this red light will come on, called the check engine light. And it means the car is not well. Something's seriously gone wrong on the interior, and the car is saying, please take me to the doctors and get me reset and rebuilt. And all of this information about the car is actually in the user manual in the glove compartment. And most people never read it. In a similar way, it turns out in the human temple, the majority, all the emotions are communicating great information about what's going on the interior of the temple and how it's functioning and what it's trying to communicate to my awareness. However, I found out that most people haven't actually read the manual, the user manual. In fact, the user manual has been lost. So I'm actually writing a new one. Well, not new, I'm rewriting the user manual so that when I experience an emotion, I can basically interpret what it means and what I've got to do next. Just like I would say, if a light comes on my dashboard, what does this mean? Let me read the manual here. Oh, it means I got to go and change the light bulb or add some oil or change the lubricant or something. Similar in the human temple, the emotions is the equivalent of the dashboard, and it's always communicating, but you have to read the manual, which I'll be writing. But in this video, I'm going to give you a quick summary of what's going to be in the manual. And if you like this video, please give it a like or a heart or something. And if you really want to learn more about it in more detail, then I recommend that you go to greatnessactivation.com and schedule a complimentary session where we can go deeply into how we can work together and etc. and activate your greatness. But back to the manual. So on the dashboard, there's the main light, and it's called the joy, the emotion of joy. And what that usually means is all systems are go. So if you're feeling some joy right now, please type something in the chat whether you're watching the replay or you're watching the live, just type something in the chat and let me know are you feeling any joy today? And joy, like all the emotions, can range from low levels of joy to super high levels of joy. Another emotion on the dashboard is the emotion of anger. And anger is one of my favorite emotions because it actually is there and it's monitoring the core. And what do I mean by core? It means your core values, your core identity, your core vision, everything that's in like the DNA level that has the core of the specification of how you're supposed to function. This emotion is actually paying attention to it. And it comes on when it witnesses any violations of these core. If I'm not being my true self, anger comes on. If I'm not honoring my core values, anger comes on. So I'll delve deeper into that in future videos. But if you like this, just once again, go to greatnessactivation.com or click a like on this video here and let me know that you like what you're hearing. The other emotion that's very prevalent in the world right now is the emotion of sadness. And most people think that these are negative emotions, anger and sadness, but they're actually very important indicators about the performance of the body or what it's intending to do. For example, as a brief intro, sadness always means that I'm releasing something. The body is actually releasing an attachment. And it's a healthy thing. Should be crying on a regular basis. The gift of sadness. But most people have been misguided or think that sadness is bad and they hate feeling sad. Oh, don't be sad, Nigel, don't be sad. Please, it's mandatory. Sadness is required on the planet so that we can release old things and make room for new things. But again, I'll be delving deeper into these. And if you'd like to practice, I'll be having some interactive sessions. Go to greatnessactivation.com and let me know that you would like to participate in future interactivity. Guilt. Ooh, guilt. Now, again, anger, sadness, guilt, these are considered to be negative emotions, but they're actually gifts and they're communicating wonderful information. I'm just going to give you another heads up, the gift of guilt. Guilt is a reminder to forgive myself. So if I messed up, I wasn't paying attention and I did some damage to someone, then my guilt light comes on my dashboard. And what is it? When I check the manual, it says, ooh, I need to forgive myself. Then there's, turbo. What is turbo, you're wondering? And what is that? Why is it so big? Well, turbo, it turns out, is the phenomenon previously known as fear. And it's a topic on its own because fear is one of the big emotions that's running rampant right now. All the personal development gurus are referring to fear as the thing that holds me back and what our fear is, and there is no such thing as fear on earth. It turns out that the thing that we've been calling fear is actually called turbo, and it's one of the most precious things in the temple. Without it, there is no power. And so once again, there'll be a special video on that. Now, I think I skipped a few more emotions. There are lots of emotions, but I'm just highlighting the ones that are prevalent right now. The gift of jealousy or envy. What is that, Nigel? Jealousy. Usually that light comes on when I am focused on looking at someone else's contribution, someone else's beauty, someone else's gifts, and ignoring my own. And the gift of jealousy is reminding me to focus on my gift, inviting me to remember what my special contribution is and accentuate that. Again, this is a brief summary, and I'll be delving into that in the future. If you like this video, please click a like, put a comment, and let me know what you think, when you think this is absolute rubbish, that Nigel's making this up, or you know what, it makes a lot of sense. I never thought about it that way before. Either way, just make a comment and let me know what you're thinking. And there are many other emotions. Shame, that's the one I remember. What other emotions? Guilt, shame, frustration, overwhelm. All these emotions have special purpose. The ones that I've shown here, these are the main ones on the dashboard, and they've got to be monitored pretty close. Otherwise, the temple can go unstable and dysfunctional without paying attention. Now, the reason why I start off with the emotional realm is because it is the one that gives us the feedback. It gives awareness feedback of what's happening on the inside, and it's the most informative aspect of the four realms. Hence, there's a term called emotional intelligence. So let's just see how they're wired up on the inside. What you'll see is that turbo is the energy system that powers the emotions. That's why whenever I am having any kind of emotion, you can see that it uses up energy, and somehow I can get axed. Have you seen someone passionate or angry or raging, and this emotion just comes from somewhere, like they're full of fire? Turbo is the source of that energy. Again, I'll be talking about turbo in a separate conversation and some sessions. If you'd like to convert all your fear into turbo, please again go to greatnessactivation.com and schedule a session, a complimentary session, so we can start activating your greatness. Now, for each, what I found that we need to be able to measure emotions, and emotions can be measured in color. So for each emotion, there is a color spectrum. My favorite of the emotions, as I said to you before, is anger. Now, people can misinterpret that like Nigel loves getting angry. No, I love the gift of anger because it's so informative and so useful, and so it's like the check engine light on your car. I love that light because it tells me something is seriously about to go wrong on my car. This is exactly what the gift of anger is. It's the pay attention light, and if it's ignored, then things go wrong very drastically. And what anger does, it escalates from blue to green to yellow to orange to red. And so typically I have put a scale on it, and I use a scale of 1 to 7, the scale of mastery, and it goes from 1 to 7, and at level 5, we're in the green zone. This is where you know you're alive, because there's some sort of energy there, but you're not dead and asleep, so cool or chilled out that there's no energy happening. In general, when we're in the bliss, like meditation or just totally zened out, we're more on the left blue side of things, chilled. And when we're in the agitated, super hyper mode, we're on the red side of things. And in normal activities, day-to-day running, day-to-day, we're in the greeny yellow or normal zone. Ideal zone is green or level 5. And again, I'll be explaining the details of this in specific conversations around each of the emotions. Sorry, phone came through there. Each of the emotions will be dealt with separately. So I think that's it. So in summary, the emotional realm is where we get feedback, or its feelings are communicating about the nature of our temple. Let me just come out of this diagram here. And yes, so the emotional realm is the realm, like it's called the dashboard of the temple, is communicating the inner state, the inner workings of the temple. And by understanding or interpreting the inner workings of my temple, I can be guided by my emotional intelligence. And so each one of those emotions I will be developing in future videos. But if you like this video, please click on it. Tell me you like it. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. And I will speak to you in the future in another video. So this is NASA Nigel signing out for tonight. Okay, bye.